Welcome to the Hidden Palace with Skyblaze.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world. I am Skyblaze, and this is the Hidden Palace here on Radio SEGA. So, no, those of you who hear the name Crystal Dynamics will probably think of a few games. The big ones being Legacy of Kain series and Gex. But there are a number of lesser-known games which have found their way onto Sega consoles, and those are the ones that we're going to take a look at today, because that's the way I roll. I like the more obscure things. Everybody knows what Gex and Legacy of Kain is, at least you should do by now, so I thought it'd be more interesting to dig into some obscure stuff. Don't worry, there will be some music from Legacy of Kain and Gex, so you get that at least. Although it's tempted to do an episode about Legacy of Kain just because it gets very, very twisty-turny. I was discussing this with Grey4 earlier. Green Chaos Emerald saying that's the way she rolls, fast and out of control. I'm a they, but I guess. I mean, must have I'd never heard of Crystal Dynamics. Well, if you play the games, you don't really necessarily think of the developers or publishers unless they're particularly prominent, I guess. Anyway, we're going to start off with Off-World Interceptor Extreme on the Saturn. This was released in 1995, and you play as a bounty hunter known as Trashman. That's one hell of a name. And you'll be sent down to track down various scum, chasing them down in your rugged 4x4s across 5 alien planets. The game has a number of game options able to enjoy, starting with training. Here you can get to grips with how the 4x4 handles, along with experiencing the various planets you'll be driving through. Next up is story mode, which I don't know what it is about that era of games, but full motion video was quite popular at the time, and this game is no exception. So you have full motion video cutscenes. However, they made a really weird choice. Is that in the overlaid on the top of the video is the silhouette of two guys on a sofa providing critique of the cutscenes. Like Mystery Science Theater 3000. And I don't know why. Even with how cheesy the acting on the full motion videos can be, this kind of breaking the fourth wall commentary thing isn't very good. It kind of ruins it. Because, you know, if you want to have cheesy commentary, then, you know, you can do it yourself. Although the Japanese localization does actually remove the commentary and has the Japanese language dubs of the original cutscenes instead. So if you understand Japanese, that's arguably a better experience. But your mileage may vary. So let's have our first music section. From Off-World Interceptor, we have 2 tracks. The first one is Bastion World 3, which was requested by Electric Boogaloo. And then also from Off-World Interceptor, we have Boss Level. So enjoy those, and I'll be right back after this music break to talk a bit more about Off-World Interceptor and our next game. And we are back. And that was Off-World Interceptor boss level, and before that we had Bastion World 3, requested by Electric Boogaloo. So, speaking of Off-World Interceptor, let's talk about that a bit more. So, if you are not interested in the story mode, then you can try the arcade mode. While the story mode has you tackle the planets in a set order, the arcade mode you can complete them in any order, as long as you actually, complete them. If you move to another planet before finishing off the one that you were last on, you will lose all progress on it and will have to start the planet all over again when you come back to it. So, not ideal. If neither of these options appeals to you, and you have a friend available, then you can try out Battle Mode. This one puts you and a second player against each other as you fight to win on the in the best of 3 on a planet to claim that planet for your own ends. Then you decide on the next one that you want to compete for. The first player to win across all of the worlds is the winner. So, I don't know what's going on in the chat, because Green Chaos Emerald asked me a really weird question about a Tootsie Pop. And I was very confused because we don't have those in the UK. So, it's apparently a reference to an old commercial, but the reference is completely lost on me. Sorry. Not something we have over here. Right, where was I? Electric Boogaloo is saying you should watch the new Reboot docuseries if you haven't yet. Interesting. I will put that on my list. Reboot is one of my favourite things. It's actually forms part of the setting for a tabletop RPG that I've been running for
many years.
A lot of years. Right, moving on. So the next game which I'm going to talk about was also released in 1995, and that one is Titan Wars. It's also known as Solar Eclipse in the US, and this one is an on-rails shooter which looks very similar in style of play to Star Fox. You play as Lieutenant Cross, call sign Stuntman. Stuntman and Trashman, do they have a thing about people with the name Man at the end? I don't know. A somewhat reckless fighter pilot who has been assigned to Alpha Squad due to one of their pilots suffering a severe injury. Cross and the rest of Alpha Squad are being sent to investigate a mysterious attack on a mining colony based on one of Saturn's moons. Is there anything else going on in the chat? Electric Boogaloo has posted a review of Off-World Interceptor. Off-World Interceptor Extreme, reviewing every US Saturn game. Wow, okay. That'll take a while. I mean, the Saturn didn't do that well, but his library is still not that small. Okay, it's a fairly short section, so we're going to have a bit more music. And you know how I mentioned we're going to have some Legacy of Kain music? Well, first of all, I'm going to play a track from Titan Wars. And this is Tethys' theme from Titan Wars. And then after that, we have from Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver, Raziel's Stronghold. And you may have heard Greyfor cheering because that was a request by him. So please enjoy that. And I'm back after this music break to talk a bit more about Titan Wars. Or Solar Eclipse, if you are Americana flavoured. Enjoy, I'll be back soon.
My name's Gavi, and you're listening to The Hidden Palace with Skyblaze on Radio SEGA.
And we are back. And that was Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, Raziel's Stronghold, requested by Grey4. You gotta love a nice dark ambient track with some jangly goth guitars. And before that we had from Titan Wars, Tethys' theme. So I mentioned about like Trashman and Stuntman, and then Electric Boogaloo, and then it's Purvis said that it sounds like Mega Man Robot Masters, and then Electric Boogaloo says, don't forget about the Wheelman from Driver. So we then went on down a bit of a rabbit hole like Pepsi Man, Bomberman. So we're gonna create our own roster of Robot Masters. Alright, cool. This is clearly a very sensible and normal chat we have on the Discord. Yes, yes, yes. You should absolutely join us. Where was I? I had a show to do. Oh dear, right. So, as I mentioned about Titan Wars, or Solar Eclipse if you prefer, gameplay is pretty similar to Star Fox. You are piloting your ship through space or across a moon's surface, shooting down any enemies you encounter. Along with being able to do a barrel roll. Okay, here I'm going to go off on a tangent because it's not a barrel roll. It's an aileron roll. Because you're staying on the same plane. It's only a barrel roll if you are actually, like, because it's named that because you go around, like, around in a circle, like you're going around the inside of a barrel. Whereas an aileron roll, you are just kind of like flipping upside down and then back the right way up. So it's not the same thing as a barrel roll. They are not the same. And it does kind of make my eye twitch when people call it a barrel roll, even though it's not. The Rabbit Man should have known better, frankly. He called himself a pilot. Tisk. Right, I've got off on a tangent again. Where was I? So yeah, you can do an aileron roll to defend yourself. And your ship is equipped with plasma cannons on the wings, missiles, and an energy shield that can take the brunt of any incoming fire that you are not able to dodge. Weapons can be either upgraded, and missiles collected and shields restored with power-ups, and that you can locate within each mission. You'll also get comms from your squad mates, which can help give you directions and important information in each mission. Again, much like Star Fox. Also worth noting, this is another FMV game. I told you, it was the style at the time. But the FMVs for this particular one are pretty interesting if you are a sci-fi nerd like I am. Because the FMVs star one Claudia Christian, who is known to quite a lot of people, including me, as Susan Ivanova from Babylon 5. So, our last game that I'm going to talk about for today is The Horde, which is an action simulation game that has you grow your land into a thriving kingdom. You take on the role of Chauncey, a lowly servant in the king's court who is spending his time pouring wine and serving food to the nobility. But a single event changes his life forever. I'm going to look at my top bed. That was sake for The Horde. A single event changed his life forever, as during one of the king's feast, the king himself started choking, and Chauncey thought very quickly and managed to save the king's life by performing the Heimlich maneuver. Skyblaze is saying Claudia Christian is also the possessed lady from The Hidden. Is that a film? I've not... The Hidden's a fun movie, you should watch it. I've never seen it. I've seen Claudia Christian in a few things, but that's not one of them. She's a very good actress, though. Right, I'm gonna play some more music. What? Skyblaze is saying what? What? What's going on?
I'm as confused as you are.
I don't know what's going on in the chat right now. They're being weird. This is not new. I mean, granted.
Oh. I get it now.
Huh?
So when you read the comment that Electric Boogaloo put, you said Skyblaze also put Skyblaze put also the possessed lady from The Hidden. So instead of saying Electric Boogaloo said that Claudia Christian.
I am very tired.
Yes.
Okay, I guess. I'm gonna play some music. I can't cope with this right now. Okay, so from The Horde we have the Shimto Plains fight, and then a request from Doan from the game Pandemonium, which was actually published by Crystal Dynamics. We have Dungeon Tower, so please enjoy those. I'll be back after this music break to continue talking about The Horde.
says Xenia, the playlist manager. Hidden Palace, Skyblaze!
And we are back. And that was Dungeon Tower from Pandemonium, requested by Doan. And before that we had from the Horde, the Shinto Plains Fight. And the chat is having a gleeful time gently roasting me, so I love you all. Electric Boogaloo did point out, though, that Toys for Bob was in fact owned by Crystal Dynamics for a good number of years. As in, you know, the people that made Spyro. The Skylanders and the Spyro remakes, anyway. Can't remember who actually made the originals. Is this the point where Greyfall gets the smack? I'll deal with it later, because he's across the room, and I can't be bothered to get up yet. So, on with the thing I'm actually supposed to be talking about. So, as a reward for saving the life of the king, Chauncey is given a knighthood, along with the king's own sword, which goes by the glorious name of Grimthwacker. I am not making this up. Along with a wealth of land to call his own. However, the land you are given is close to the ravenous horde of the title, a red-skinned goblin-like race, a race of creatures who will attack and eat anything in their way. Sort of like, you know, bipedal locusts. The main gameplay is split into two distinct sections. The first is the cultivating stage, where you use your money to grow your village and build defences against the horde. What's going on now? Oh god. No, I'm not dealing with that. I'm going to carry on with what I'm actually supposed to be doing. While it would be nice to take your time to set up a perfect defence, the Horde are impatient, and you will only get 2 minutes in which to buy and position everything that you want or need, which is not a huge amount of time. After these 2 minutes are up, the Horde attack. At the start of the next stage, you'll get details on how many of the Horde you will need to defeat in order to fend off their attack. You'll then be in control of Chauncey as he wields the Grimthwacker to great effect. Each round is labelled as a season. And after 4 seasons, you'll then have to contend with the greatest enemy known to mankind. Taxes. Depending on how well you defended your village, you will have hopefully gained enough money in order to pay your taxes and may be able to buy some better items for you and your village, such as new weapons or new traps in order to slow down the horde. One particularly interesting thing is that all of the games I've mentioned, I think they've all been FMV games, and there is in fact a reason for this. They are all linked to the 3DO in some fashion, and the 3DO was notorious for having a lot of FMV titles. The Horde is a port of the 3DO game of the same name. Off-World Interceptor Extreme is a tweaked port of the 3DO original that is just known as Off-World Interceptor, and finally Titan Wars, aka Solar Eclipse, is a sequel to the 3DO game called Total Eclipse. Isn't that interesting? I am here to provide you with your SEGA education needs. Well, this sort of 3DO education. I know. Let's have some more music. So, we're going to have a couple of tracks now one from Blazing Dragons. So from Blazing Dragons we have Eye of the Beholder, and then from Gex we have Resopolis. Not, you know, to be confused with Res. I'll shut up now and play some music. Enjoy!
Hi, I'm Resident SD, host of Lion Live, and when it comes to boosting your Sega education, there's no better place than the Hidden Palace on Radio Sega.
And we are back. And that was Gex Resopolis, and before that we had from Blazing Dragons, Eye of the Beholder. So, it's time to go into the chiptune corner. I don't actually know a huge amount about today's entry into the chiptune corner, because I heard it on Radio Parallax, and then I thought it was great, so I hunted it down and found it on RKL Remix, aka remix.kwed.org. It is a mashup of the classic 80s synth-pop tune Blue Monday by New Order, and along with the music from an MSX game called Comic Bakery. The remixer is a bit mysterious. I wasn't able to find very much about them, other than the fact that they are known as Alpa, A-L-P-A, on RKO. I've got a link to the track on remix.kwed.org, but that's all I've got. So if they happen to be listening, if they happen to see any of the socials, get in touch so I can actually, promote your music properly. But I will link that in the Discord chat, and then I will play the music for you, because I think it's great, and I think you will enjoy it as well. So, this is Blue Comic Bakery Monday mashup remix by Alpa. Please enjoy. And we are back! And that was Alpa with Blue Comic Bakery Monday Mashup Remix. If you like that and I thought it was great, you can download it for free from remix.k1.org. And you should. Also, I've discovered that I really need to listen to, like, all the Radio Parallax, because I've been finding some really good tracks on there. So, thanks to them for that, if they happen to be listening. So, thank you so much to everyone who has tuned in today. As usual, if you have a suggestion for a show topic, you can track me down on Blue Sky, where I am blazingskies.bsky.social, and also on Discord, where I'm Skyblaze42. You can also find me through the official Radio Sega social media channels. Coming up next, I think we've got an SNS with Gavi. I'm not entirely sure, but I hope we do. Tomorrow, I believe we've also got Rexy's Sega Mixer Drive, so be sure to tune in for those. So I have been Skyblaze, and this has been the Hidden Palace here on Radio Sega. I have been playing a lot of Xenoblade Chronicles recently, so you get that as the last track to go out on. I hope everyone has a good night, and please take care.
Enjoyed the show? Check out the full Radio Sega live schedule at radiose.ga/shows. Radio Sega, playing the best Sega music 24/7.